Because once you see it all, you can understand and maneuver it. And what's happened is the thing that once was manipulating unknowing light energies is now being seen by those light energies because they have expanded out. That's you. Okay? If you're not experiencing this consciously yet in your experience, in your day-to-day walk, you may begin to clearly see where something that thought it once had control of you, you now have, if you want to use the word control, you would have control over it, but through your heart frequency, you do not desire control of it. However, you can maneuver and balance situations from above the process with the thing having no authority. So it has no authority over you. The authority was false in the first place, but now it cannot even move as though it has authority over you. I hope that's making sense. Okay, the word authority is tricky, but that's the clearest word that came through. Okay, and so this also applies to structural oppositions as well. And so you will see that more and more throughout this tumultuous process of systems shifting and breaking down. And by tumultuous, that's not to make light of that. It is. This is rough on a lot of people. And so there needs to be a lot of clarity around that as well, and compassion for those who, many of who understand why the structure had to break apart, but now they also still have families to feed as they're losing jobs. So it's like walking and chewing gum. You understand what's happening, but don't forget everything needs to flow through a heart frequency, not just some of the things. Okay? This is going to become more and more clear as the sides think they're opposite sides, right? Groups of people who believe they're on opposite sides, but yet not a part of this small percentage of those who wish to remain in power. Two different things, right? Okay. So these groups will begin to see each other. Okay, it may not seem like it's going to happen just yet because everything looks so out of control. But it's on the people. There's no particular, do you want me to get into this? A little bit. We're going to get into this just a little bit. There is no one agency or government official or, authority, government, governing figure who will solve anything. It's people. The people have to merge. The people have to see each other. That's the lesson that's being missed. We're not going to go any further with that in this particular video. Okay? Except to say there is a fraction, and I mean a minuscule fraction of humans and energies on the earth who benefit from humans continuing to not see each other and believe that they really have such opposing views that they cannot come together, and they continue to lack compassion toward each other, not just one toward the other, but both. Okay? All right. Everything needs to come through a heart frequency because that is the shift. That is the shift. Okay. All right. So we're going to continue here. Wow. Didn't expect that to come through. So yeah. So the energies, speaking of counterbalancing energies that come in to stamp out the unique perspective of those who come to initiate change into this heart frequency via their gifts that just came through. Okay. They are now viewing you, because what I just described is you if you're watching me. Okay? They are now viewing you as some kind of boogeyman. Okay? Just understand that you have transmuted through things at such a rate that it's astonishing. All right? So I want to read a little bit because I don't want to miss anything or get anything turned around. Okay, so where these energies once tried to present as some sort of boogeyman or dark, scary figure that you can't see where the attack's coming from, and it could present it as, things just not going right. It's just continual. It's continual, no matter how much work I do, this sort of thing, okay? In some of again, not all of you went through it that heavily, okay? This is going to vary. But this information is needed by all of you in part so that you have compassion for an experience that hasn't been yours, but yet you may witness, okay? So where these energies once tried to present perhaps as a boogeyman of sorts, right? For many of you, you are now becoming this, I hate to say the word, okay? This word is such a ridiculous word, but it's the word that came through. It's some sort of boogeyman, okay? Because you are quickly washing through and transmuting things that attempt to cause you imbalance. Any misalignments, any imbalances, you're quickly washing through these. All right, you have become much more confident, whether you consciously realize this or not, within energetic layers as well. You were thrust into this training, whether you consciously realized it or not, in the etheric field, and have become very adept and very agile. And many of you offer protection to those around you who either cannot yet defend or protect themselves. This is within energetic layers primarily, but many of you do it in the physical as well. Yes, big confirmation there. Okay? People are under your protective umbrella of sorts many times, and very much so in the etheric field, as you have been through this, and it is an angelic, to use a religious word, that has great significance here. To utilize your angelic signature now, okay? Whether you came in with that signature or not, you now have it, you hold it. It won't just be angelic in the sense of angels that have been formally recognized by different religions. There's much, much more that you could describe in terms of naming it, is what I mean. There's much more than what you may have heard described in a religious text, but it does include that. It does not exclude that. Definitely not, okay? Archangel Michael is here now. He's with me constantly. Yet we speak of science, constantly, consistently as well, okay? The two are not mutually exclusive. All right. So you have become more confident. You are deeply aware of your role on the planet at this time. So you guys are becoming more aware of your roles, and particularly through the heart frequency. Okay. And this is ongoing, guys. There's no end point. So you may be thinking, oh, I need to be better at this, or I'm not there yet, or I'm still trying. I don't do things perfectly. You are amazing. You are light years. Okay. To borrow a term from Hollywood or what. It is a term. I don't mean to make light of that. No pun intended. But yeah, to borrow this term, okay, you are light years ahead of where you were. Light years. You should know that because it might not feel like it, because when you're moving through it, it's difficult to observe from the outside perspective. Okay. And so they go on to talk about how you're a protector of those who might have been defenseless or even abused. Okay, these are adults and children, all walks. Okay, this is about compassion, what we just talked about. All right, so some of you who regularly operate consciously in non-physical realms will likely know and engage when directed at a conscious level. So what they mean by that is you may be doing that at a subconscious, unconscious, and an etheric level, right? So out of your body when your energy is moving within the etheric realms, and also in different layers of the field. You're doing this. And because you're doing this, when something occurs in the physical that it's your role to intervene, you just know what to do. You instinctively are knowing what to do, and you may not know exactly where that came from. Well, that's new, So all of this is going on, you guys, and this is what the Arcturians want to talk about, okay? Now, I do want to point out, and they're reminding me to say, this is going to pertain to those of you who have done much work, and I'm quoting them here, to release and transmute fear by slowing the consumption of distorted or fear-based information, you guys. You're opening up into heart expanded frequencies and operating more from your broader perspective, everything that came through earlier. You're doing a lot of work. Those of you who can really are relating to this already, you're doing much work to understand and balance self. You're starting from within, not just attacking everything from without or assuming that everything's coming from without right away. You are going within and doing a lot of this heart frequency work. What happens is it clarifies what you're seeing. So it's not that nothing's ever coming from without, because we are having an experience where the consciousness presents as an individual consciousness. So yes, from the one perspective, it is all part of you. But from the other perspective, from the experiential perspective, it is presenting as an outside force that you have an interdynamic experience with. Okay, that was an interesting way to say that. But yeah, the word dynamic keeps coming in. Yeah, so a lot of energetic movement back and forth, like sharing and understanding of the energies around you. Okay, so there's like an uptick in that, but there's an uptick in the understanding is what's coming through right now. So this is coming through now. So as we are increasing in our vibration, our vibrancy, our ability to energetically communicate, we're also increasing our ability to maneuver with that communication, block it if needed, transmute it if needed. All of this is increasing. Okay, that's the point. That's what they want to say. Okay, wow, I hope that made sense, you guys. That was a lot, okay? Take care of yourselves. Lots of solar activity in play right now. Many of you already know that, and the storms have ramped up, okay? So you may want to do a little bit of educated outside research about what's going on with the solar activity, just to be prepared for getting extra rest, getting those extra fluids, and taking care of yourselves on a mental level, just basically through meditation, calming your mind, and just getting out of the energetic fray of it all, just so you can allow your body to rebound, basically to heal, and to integrate these codes that are coming in. All right? Okay, so I love you so much, beautiful soul family, and I will talk to you again very, very soon. Namaste.